Hey everybody, welcome back to the Everyday Money Guy. Today we're going to talk about loan forbearance during the coronavirus pandemic. So when the coronavirus came about and ruined, everyone's health and the economy, the federal government instituted the CARES Act, and among many other different relief options that it provided folks, it allowed you to put your mortgage on forbearance if you met certain qualifications. The forbearance is essentially a fancy word for saying that they paused your mortgage for an initial time period of 180 days or 6 months. That allowed folks some much needed breathing room that had lost out on their incomes and wouldn't have been able to make the payments and would have otherwise went into foreclosure. They did this not because people had taken out gigantic loans that they weren't able to pay back, but because of the health crisis. The government shut down the economy, shut down large portions, especially hard hit where hospitality, travel, restaurants, things of that nature. And so this was a good program that folks could take advantage of to keep them in their homes and not suffer any undue financial hardship through no fault of their own. So initially, loan forbearance cases surged to about 1.5 million loans that were being put in forbearance. That quickly declined to approximately 150,000 loans per week being put into forbearance and essentially pausing those payments for the time being. The thing is that the number of active loans in forbearance has really climbed up and has just stayed, pretty level. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of folks that are coming off of forbearance anytime in the near past, or it doesn't look like there's any trend for that to decline. So the initial 180 days may be running out for some folks, and they might be wondering what they're going to be able to do if they still do not have the means to make their mortgage payments through essentially no fault of their own. The good news is that the CARES Act provides for a one-time extension of 180 more days of forbearance for your mortgage. Your loan servicer should reach out to you 30 days before your forbearance period is supposed to end. Now, as we probably all know, loan servicers aren't necessarily the best at communicating, especially things that are to your benefit. Of course, if it's to your detriment, they will call you at the very first possible opportunity, but they are supposed to call you 30 days prior to it ending. If you are getting close to that number and they haven't called you, it's probably a good idea to reach out to your loan servicer and talk to them about extending your forbearance for another 180 days as is allowed by the CARES Act. So when you are able and ready to exit forbearance, if it's at the 180 days, if it's before that, if it's at the end of the full 12 months that you get, you may be curious about what your requirements are going to be going forward. Because the thing about the forbearance is it just pauses those payments. It does not absolve you of those payments. It doesn't make them go away. You still have to pay the full amount that you owe on your mortgage. So they have laid out 5 ways that you can pay back that money that you didn't pay during the time that you were in forbearance. And I'll just go down the list here. These are in no particular order. The first is full repayment. When you bring your loan out of forbearance, you would resume your normal payments and make the total lump sum of the amount that you didn't pay. I don't see this as being a particularly popular repayment option, as if you couldn't pay it during that time, I don't know how you would have the money to just pay it in one lump sum right when you're about ready to start making your normal amount of mortgage payments. So I don't see this one being used particularly often. The second is you can make intermittent payments on top of your regular mortgage payment. This could be monthly, every 3 months, whatever you and your loan servicer work out. Again, I don't see this as being a particularly popular option to, especially if you've just come out of a financial crisis where you can't pay your mortgage and now you're paying your mortgage plus another mortgage payment or larger. I just don't see that as being a very popular option, but some people probably take it. The third is that you can lengthen your loan term, and that's going to be additional payments at the end of your loan. So if you had a loan that was for 30 years and you put it on forbearance for 12 months instead of making 360 payments, or you'd still make 360 payments, but instead of at the end of 30 years, you would have another 12 months of payments to make. Again, it would still be 360 payments, but you didn't make 12 in the middle of this forbearance period. Another option is that you can defer the lump sum payment of this amount until you either sell your home, refinance your home, or until the mortgage ends. So that would be that you would have to pay the full amount on the sale of, at the closing of a refinance, or at the end of the mortgage. That amount would be due, similar to a balloon payment in other types of loans. And then the fifth option is that you can just pursue a loan modification, and that involves changing either the rate, the term, almost anything with the loan. That would be between you and your loan servicer. So you do have 5 ways to exit the loan forbearance. I think a few of those will not be very popular at all, and I believe that the lengthening of the loan term, deferring until you make some sort of movement on the property as far as sale, refinance, or the mortgage ends, or pursuing loan modification will probably be the most popular options for folks to exit forbearance. So again, if you're coming up to the end of the initial 180 days of forbearance and you're kind of freaking out because you're not sure how you're going to make your payment on month 7, just be aware that there are another 180 days that you are able to take advantage of to defer those payments till down the road when you have the ability to make those payments. Again, guys, if you like this channel, please subscribe, grow your wealth, increase your success, put you on the road to financial freedom. I would appreciate a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you all next time. Hopefully everyone out there in forbearance is getting ready to get back to work soon, and we're all thinking about you out there. Hopefully you guys are doing really well in the future.